You'd be astonished at how much one of those Freelander-sized quality compact 4x4s will cost you these days, or perhaps you wouldn't. Suffice it to say that if you want one that feels really well built with a decent spec, then you shouldn't budget to get much change out of £30,000. Jeep, though, is a manufacturer trying to change things. Having launched their Patriot in this sector for well under £20,000, they've now listened to customers and upgraded it to £30,000 quality without the accompanying price hike. A tough approach from a tough brand, but how does the end result stack up? Guilt-free SUVs are the flavour of the moment. Since these are broadly based on cars, they compromise little on performance and are no more harmful to the planet than your average 5-door family estate. But some, inevitably, are more 4x4-like than others, and you'd expect a model bearing the Jeep badge to be one of these. Not that this is necessarily true in this so-called enlightened age. Jeep has, after all, already bought us the Compass, a model that, though boasting all-wheel drive, is not really aimed at an off-road style market. Though the Patriot that we're looking at here shares many of that car's underpinnings, it is thankfully more of a proper Jeep, good enough to keep you going through all but the most extreme conditions. Launched at the affordable end of the compact 4x4 sector, it's now been upgraded with a much higher quality interior. The lack of lumbering performance and crippling fuel costs may lead some to wonder whether this Patriot really is a proper 4x4, hence Jeep's eagerness to publicise their Freedom Drive system. Now, this is an electronically controlled four-wheel drive setup with a locking mode operated by this chrome T-bar here next to the handbrake. It is able to set the front-rear torque split for especially slippery conditions. For a Patriot owner to exhaust his vehicle's abilities, he'd probably have to be somewhere he didn't intend to be in the first place. Weighing no more than 1,645 kilograms, this Patriot is a relative lightweight compared to some of its rivals, and that means that it's no slouch on the tarmac. The 2.4-litre petrol version makes 60 from rest in 10.7 seconds, while the diesel variant that I'm driving does the same in 11 seconds, on the way to a top speed of 117 miles an hour. That's 5 miles an hour more than the petrol. Now, although the diesel gives you more pulling power, it does need a bit more encouragement to get up to speed. Body roll, that's well controlled, and there's anti-lock brakes and ESP stability control should you get a little over-enthusiastic. The improved interior certainly is a welcome step forward, lifting the cabin quality up towards the standards set by expensive German rivals. All models get a smoother look instrument panel, a redesigned centre console and these remodeled door trims. Plus there are floor mats, carpeting in the load area, and you also get these lovely touches of chrome that are even more evident on limited models that now boast body coloured door handles and deep tint sunscreen glass. The retro lines of the Patriot's exterior will be a major reason why many customers will like it. The high waistline, the narrow side windows, the flat body panels, the upright windscreen, all are design cues reminiscent of an early Cherokee, while the boxily flared wheel arches look straight from a Wrangler. That very Jeep-like square shape allows for a usefully sized cabin too, with decent headroom front and rear, although this chunky transmission tunnel with its cup holders down here means that seating 3 adults across the back seat might be difficult on longer journeys. One plus though is that this rear seat back actually goes forwards and back so that you can recline if you're on a long trip, or you can push it forward if you want slightly more luggage space if you need to. In the back there's 436 litres of luggage room, and fold down the rear seats, they're 60-40 split folding, and you can extend that to 1,277 litres. Now, one option that's really nice is the way that these extra cost speakers fold out of the rear tailgate, creating the opportunity for awesome tailgate parties. Your teenagers will love it. At the wheel, all the controls are self-explanatory and the driving position's good. Prices sit in the £16,000 to £20,000 bracket, and you're looking at a premium of around £1,200 if you want diesel rather than petrol power. Now, these figures put the Patriot in a rather unique position in the UK compact 4x4 market. It's more costly than budget alternatives like Kia Sportage or Suzuki's Grand Vitara, but it's significantly less than models like Toyota's RAV4, Honda's CR-V, or of course Land Rover's Freelander. Most of those demand usually over £20,000 from you. There are two trim levels offered with each engine. The entry level is the Sport, and that gives you air conditioning, a tilt-adjustable steering column, and a special wipe-clean seat fabric. You also get electric windows, a CD radio with AUX and MP3 capability, and 17-inch alloy wheels. Now, I've opted here for the Plush Limited model, which behind all this mud has front fog lights. You also get electric mirrors, cruise control, a 6-CD stereo, and leather trimmed seats. Plus, at this level, there's the option of Jeep's Sound and Navigation Group. That's their vehicle infotainment system that gives you Uconnect GPS sat-nav and Bluetooth-enabled phone, plus the premium Boston acoustic sound system. Whichever Patriot you choose, there's a decent range of safety equipment. Front, side and curtain airbags are standard, so is ABS with ESP stability control. You also get a rollover mitigation system, and there are ISOFIX seat mounting points for the kids' baby seats in the rear. You also get an alarm and immobiliser and remote control central locking. This diesel version will average around 42 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle, and even around town you should get about 25 miles to the gallon. Now, that's an improvement on some 1.6 litre super minis, and it's significantly better than many pretend 4x4s in diesel form like Nissan's Qashqai. Even the CO2 emissions won't have Al Gore hyperventilating. They're at 180 grams per kilometre for this diesel. Now, inevitably, the 2.4 litre petrol paints a less rosy costs picture. It averages 32.5 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle and puts out CO2 emissions of 206 grams per kilometre. This diesel version also does pretty well when it comes to residual values, and that Jeep badge will do you no harm there. After 3 years and 60,000 miles, it'll still be worth 45% of what you paid for it. Insurance is set at Group 10 for the petrol and Group 11 for the diesel. The Americans didn't have to do much to make this Patriot very competitive indeed. It boiled down to the need for a high-quality interior without high-quality pricing. Now, with this in place, this model looks well set to appeal to more buyers new to the brand than any Jeep before it. In a market where so many small 4x4s are all about image and fall short on substance, the Patriot has both. Try one before you try something more expensive. You might be surprised.